Maybe they should have just waited and made this the first episode instead. That would have been a lot better.
I could get behind that. I mean, I really liked this one. It had some good stuff in it, and, fucking Spongebob was half the villains for the episode, so...
Yes, exactly.
I spent like half the episode going, Mumbo Jumbo's voice sounds familiar, who is it? And I googled, Magic Spongebob. They're fighting Spongebob.
Yes.
Welcome to Teen Titans.
Indeed. Okay, so this episode is the sum of his parts.
It's a cyborg-focused episode, funnily enough.
Yes. Puns. So in this episode, Cyborg, during a game of American football, I like how that's how I start this with, ends up powering down via running out of power. He needs to go back to the tower to recharge, but when a magician villain named Mumbo ends up robbing, I believe it was like a jewelry store? I don't remember.
I think so. He robs a lot of shit over the course of the episode.
He joins the rest of the Titans in a fight against him in a dump. Okay. He brought some emergency power via giant batteries. It's one of those things you don't realize how funny it is until you say it.
Yeah, he's just strapped to his back a ton of car batteries. No biggie. Off to fight crime and save the world.
But he runs out of power just when he's thrown into a dump truck. Mumbo steals the truck to escape, and the Titans go after him, thinking Cyborg's inside, unaware that he fell out at the last minute. Cyborg ends up underground with a strange robotic man named Fix-It. Fix-It finds all sorts of parts and can rebuild machines, and decides to repair Cyborg. At first it seems like he just wants to help, but it becomes apparent that he believes that Cyborg isn't robotic enough with his human side still around. So that leads to some trouble. Meanwhile, the Teen Titans have to deal with all of Mumbo's magical nonsense. It's a very, very long fight scene before they eventually break his magic wand and stop his magic for good. Only after that do they realize that Cyborg is still in the dump somewhere. They head inside the weird underground base that Fix-It has, only to find his little robotic buddies in their way, and they have to battle them as well. At the same time, Cyborg is about to be turned into a full robot, but when Fix-It connects with him for the process, he sees Cyborg's humanity, I guess, and it ends up backfiring on him. As the Titans finally find Cyborg, he tells Fix-It, which is actually not all robot it seems by the way, that he can help him, as Fix-It thinks that maybe he's the one that in need of repairs. And that's shockingly close to how he talks.
I'm still very much all in favour of heroes who are sympathetic to their villains and try to help them out, by the way. That's still a thing I love in any way, shape or form. So the fact that even though Cyborg has gone through some kind of horror movie shit over the course of this episode, including almost having his still human parts taken away from him, he's still just like, let me help you out, dude. Which is sweet.
Yeah, he's a cool guy.
Yeah. So again, I think this was a really good episode, and again, it's because it was very character focused. They weren't overreaching themselves by trying to cover the whole cast in 20 minutes. It was very Cyborg focused. And about how I have to say, one of the cutest things I've ever seen, definitely the cutest moment in this episode, the little boy with the prosthetic arm who's a big fanboy of Cyborg.
Yes.
That's some fucking adorable shit right there.
Yes. And then the thing at the end, what was it like? That's not what makes it similar, it's the rest of you that does.
Yeah, which is a sweet more, which is, it's all sweet. But
yes.
just, I love the fact that this little kid's got a prosthetic arm now, and he feels cool with it because his favourite superhero is like half prosthetics. That's great.
Yes, that's
good to have.
Yeah.
So yeah, beginning of the episode was also reasonably cute with the barbecue, Starfire and her love of eating.
Starfire, the mustard queen.
Yeah, and when they tell her it's not supposed to be drinkable, it's mustard, she's just like, can I have some more? She should go drinking with Sans sometime.
Yes.
But yeah, cute picnicking with wildly distorted faces while in full uniform, why not?
Yes, I love that. I love that they have a football game in superhero gear.
Yeah, they just casually go to the park in full superhero gear. Also, again, continuing thing, Beast Boy's eating tofu dogs. Although, I have to say, as a vegetarian myself, I find tofu disgusting. But, he's happy with it. I am with Raven on how disgusting tofu is, though.
Yes.
Also, when they're starting their hand egg game, I think it's kind of funny how Beast Boy's counting seconds with 1 Gotham City, 2 Gotham City, which I'm guessing is a rip off the American 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. But like over here, we count as 1 elephant, 2 elephant, 3 elephant, which would have been really funny to watch Beast Boy do.
I guess that's true.
But never mind.
By the way, why do you guys have a city named Elephant? That seems really weird.
I was about to say we don't, but then I remembered that Elephant and Castle is in fact a place in London. So, I don't know. It's probably derived from a German word that means something that we stole and mispronounced, because that is what English is. So I'm also impressed this battery takes a couple of years to run down. Like, I need one of those for my phone.
Yeah, that must be pretty good. Yeah, I was worried when Cyborg decided to put a plate on the grill. Like, that seems pretty dangerous. I wouldn't do that.
It's not like he's gonna burn his hand picking it up.
True. I honestly just loved the music in the whole intro. It was just so cheesy.
It was so cheesy. A lot of the music for the episode was pretty cheesy. Especially just all their fights and chase with Mumbo Jumbo was just like this fucking elevator music.
Yes. It was like a mix of like it was like elevator music with like a bit of like, I'm not even sure what. It was like a jazzier version of elevator music. Elevator
jazz. In contrast to the deeply sinister shit going on underground with Cyborg and Fix-It. Like, that whole thing was so sinister.
Yes.
Also, I have to say, when they first announced that the villain of the episode was Mumbo Jumbo, I was just like, Powerpuff Girls crossover?
I was thinking Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah. Pretty proper. Honestly, I would kill for a Powerpuff Girl crossover. I think that would really work here. I mean, I think the art styles would actually mesh reasonably well.
You don't know how funny that is.
Is there a Powerpuff Girls crossover?
There was a crossover this year with the new Powerpuff Girls and Teen Titans Go.
Oh, okay. There was a crossover between the reboots that nobody cares about rather than the good original shows. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You asked for it.
That is not what I asked for. It's like asking for a tofu dog and getting a hot dog. Actually, no, I asked for something much better than a tofu dog. The point is I can't eat it.
Well, anyway.
Moving along.
The weird thing about this episode, even though I mostly forgot about the Mumbo section of this episode.
There's not much to it aside from keeping the Titans running around while Cyborg's on the operating table.
But the thing is that because I've actually seen this episode multiple times and I did remember the Cyborg-focused parts, like, I actually kind of was more into the whole Mumbo fight just because it was so, like, creative and, like, crazy.
I was getting some, like, minor vibes of, Mr. Mxyzptlk from Superman. There was a little bit of that surreal vibe going on.
Yeah.
But, definitely way less dangerous than that asshole.
Like, it was just really creative. I like just how much he can do just to stop all the Titans.
Yeah, he was creative. He was creative and OP, which is for most of the battle. Like, I want to know where he got that magic wand from.
I love the part with the stuffed, like the rabbit toys. It just shoots a bunch of, just like 100 rabbit toys. Like, I don't know why, that's just funny to me.
It was cute. It was adorable. But it is such a tone contrast to what's going down between Cyborg and Fix-It. Because as soon as Fix-It goes, you have more problems that need to be fixed, I'm like, he's talking about your organic parts. Run now, Cyborg, run now. But no, he stays. And it's a freaking scary looking full robot he's trying to make him too. Like, if you think you're the good guy, why do you make such sinister looking shit? Really?
I don't know.
It's like, hey, you're not the good guy if you're performing non-consensual medical procedures. But I like all the stuff with Cyborg worrying about the fact that he's not... He's clearly got some issues with being with being a cyborg. but which, you know, he kind of feels better about because that little kid with the prosthetic arm looks up to him. But he's definitely got some issues with not feeling entirely human, and this probably didn't help.
Or maybe it did in a weird way, because now he's more
He's grateful for what he's still got.
Yes, exactly. The one thing I completely forgot about is just his Fix-It's bizarre biological-ist design under that cape.
What was that? Holy shit!
I don't know. I don't even know what.
It was deeply disturbing. Everything involving him and the whole general place was deeply disturbing. Especially, I really liked the other Titans fight with the robots because I think the lighting from Starfire's green glow thing was really cool. Had some really effective moments, like using a patch of shadow to hide Beast Boy turning into a gorilla and then jumping out of it was really cool. Raven just sort of melting into the darkness to use her powers looked really cool. That whole fight just visually looked really cool.
Yes. Most of the fights in the series are just very well done.
Yeah. It's like, even if all the dialogue during them is cheesy as shit, the fights themselves look really good.
I feel like a big thing also is this feels like the first episode where, like, all the voice actors, like, had, they just sounded way more natural in this episode than previous ones.
Yeah, I think so. Robin especially is a good voice actor, but sometimes they do sound like they're very done with how cheesy their lines are, but they were really good this episode. Cyborg's actor was really, really good this episode.
Yeah.
They were all good. And, you know, they clearly had the budget together to get quite a big-name actor in for their bit villain. Because, SpongeBob's been running for 12 million years, so, you know, he's clearly said.
Yeah. I feel sorry for Tom Kenny, because no matter what he does, he's always just gonna be the SpongeBob guy.
There is no escape.
Even though he's probably in, like, a billion other roles.
I was like, but actually not a huge amount aside from SpongeBob, probably because SpongeBob takes up so much.
Yeah.
He's had a few things. What were the other things? Oh, he's a stand-up comedian and nobody knows this.
I really liked, the pun, he's an easy act to follow, because they were following him. That was actually funny.
Yeah, that one was actually funny.
Yeah, if I can be honest, I don't think the puns from Beast Boy have actually worked on any level, but this one kind of did for me. Like, that is actually a thing I've been thinking about a lot, is that, how does Steven Universe get these puns to work, and that this doesn't? And I'm like, I think the problem is that Steven Universe is just, like, gleeful about having all these bad puns. It doesn't do it just because it's bad humor. It doesn't do bad humor, ironically, because it makes them happy.
Yeah, and also, the characters listening to the bad puns respond to them as bad puns. Whereas this is the kind of, you know, action movie bad pun that nobody in the movie actually responds to at all.
And honestly, even when they do make fun of Beast Boy's bad puns, it's just someone saying, "You're not funny," which is not particularly funny.
Which is just rude, you know.
Unfortunately, they'll never be able to lighten the mood.
This is the thing, you have a whole kingdom of animal puns to choose from with Beast Boy, and they always go for the bad ones. And
Yes.
And not the bad ones in a good way, as in, oh, that pun is so awful. It's as in they're just genuinely bad.
Yes.
Also, at one point he just briefly turns into Cyborg to show the robots what Cyborg looks like. So can he turn into stuff other than animals? Or...
I'm assuming...
I'm unclear on what the range of his transforming powers are.
I'm assuming no, and it was just a gag.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when any other cartoon character just randomly turns into a different person. It's just a joke.
But I'm pedantic, damn it! I want to know the exact range of his powers.
Yes.
I'm sure I'll find out someday. I did kind of laugh at the flashback to the beginning of the episode, Broke Fix It.
Yes.
I'm just like, is it because he forgot the taste of strawberries and the smell of wind? Or is it just because he was going, no, we saw this 15 minutes ago, make it stop!
No! My one weakness!
Like, I guess they just didn't want to come up with a lot of new animation, but surely Cyborg has more things about the world that make him happy to be human than just what happened that morning.
I think it was trying to do even a normal, everyday thing is worth living for sort of thing.
It was a nice morning.
There were a couple more. Mumbo actually had a couple funny lines too here. For some reason, I always love the line, "It's only fair to warn you, I have no idea what I'm doing." Just that transition from like campy to normal makes it really funny.
Yeah. And also just at the end after he's had his wand broken and he's all emasculated and not magic. And he's just like, so do I still have to go to jail now? And then
yes, exactly.
You'll just give him a look.
Just looks at him. Just
like, do we even have to answer that? Given that he only had like half the episode, he was pretty fun as a villain. And like both him and Fix-It were pretty good. Like he was fun and Fix-It was genuinely creepy and sinister.
Yes.
Especially because he had that blank way of speaking that barely human enemies sometimes use, that is meant to sound a little bit soothing, but is also really quite sinister.
Yes, it is. I don't know how you wouldn't be concerned about someone who just talks like that.
Yeah, I'm just like, come on, Cyborg, get off the table. At one point, Cyborg's like, this is making me kind of uncomfortable. I'm like, yes, it's very uncomfortable. This is shady as shit. Get off the table and leave.
Leave.
Run away. Run away.
Yeah. But, at least now Cyborg can actually help him. And we'll get to see where that goes. Except he never shows up again.
I was at least expecting him to be joining them for their picnic or something at the end. That just would have been. That would have been really cute. That just would have been really, really cute if just at the end in the background he's sitting there looking at a tofu dog.
Yes.
I can dream.
That's a weird dream.
We all have weird dreams about getting turned into robots and stuff.
Whatever you say. Whatever you say.
So yeah, definitely got him to swing in this episode a bit more.
Yes. It gets a thumbs up.
Woo! You can't see me, but I am indeed doing double thumbs up.
Yes, me too.